how many of our children are we going to let die before we get serious about this gun control issue? Welcome back, you guys. Thank you for joining. I have another sad story for you guys. Sorry about that, but I feel like this is something we absolutely have to talk about. So in White Pines, Tennessee, there's been an 11-year-old boy allegedly killed his 8-year-old neighbor, who her name's McKayla, and he killed her with a shotgun. The way this ended up happening, each of the children, the 11-year-old boy and McKayla, had a puppy. The 11-year-old boy wanted to play with McKayla's puppy, and when she said no, he then turned around, went to his house, grabbed a shotgun, and shot her in the chest, and she died when they rushed her to the hospital. So the only witness to the crime was the neighbor of the 11-year-old boy. Her name is Chastity Arwood, and she told Knoxville News Sentinel that the boy threw the shotgun out of the window after firing it. I'm not sure if anything else has been found out so far, but this is just a horrific story. My heart goes out to the family. McKayla, when she died, she left a brother, 3 sisters, and then her parents, of course, behind. I mean, what in this world is worse than losing your child, and not due to chronic illness, not due to sickness, not due to natural causes, due to the fact that another child, as much as we want to hate the person who commits murder, as much as we want to do that, another child is the one who committed the murder. And it just makes it that much harder of a story to tell, that much harder for the family to deal with. I can't imagine how they feel about it. But anyways, my heart goes out to them. The 11-year-old has been charged with first-degree murder in the girl's death. And this is coming from Bud McCoy, who is the sheriff in Jefferson County, which I guess is close or is part of where it took place. On Monday, the judge ordered the boy to be held a juvenile facility pending his next court hearing, which will be October 28th. The sheriff, Bud McCoy, wants this case to be transferred to an adult court. And like I just said earlier, this is an horrific story, and it's the worst kind of story. And as much as we want to hate the person who committed the crime, it is a child. We can't not forget the fact that the person who did it, the murderer, is 11 years old. And I don't understand why we have a juvenile court system if every time a juvenile does something really bad, we want to throw him into, we want to change the case into charging him as an adult. It's just wrong. If we have a juvenile court system for a reason, he's 11 years old. I seriously doubt that he understands the seriousness of what happened. Of course, he might be shocked. He might be scared now, but I don't think he understood at the time. I don't think he understands now the difference between life and death. I mean, if he sees his parents using a gun to shoot, if he watches TV, sees people getting shot all the time, I really doubt he understands the seriousness of what had occurred. So I did a little more research to see how often this happens, because this is the first time I've heard about it, and once I started looking at this, there's a bunch of stories of people getting killed, children getting killed. So I did a little bit of research, and while doing that research, I found another story, a fatal child shooting case. Authorities said on Monday that an 11-year-old boy fatally shot his brother while target shooting in Ohio, and this is the same Monday that the previous story happened in. The boys were with 2 adults who had 3 loaded guns on the picnic table. The younger boy picked one up and fired it, killing his 12-year-old brother. And again, this happens all the time. The Gun Violence Archive, a not-for-profit organization that compiles data on gun violence in the U.S., says 559 children aged 11 or under have been killed or injured in the United States due to gun violence so far this year. So only in 2015, 559 children have been killed. And this is children ages 11 and under. And I think this is an amazing fact, because this is the first time I'm hearing of a story of a child killing another child, or a child killing or hurting themselves with a gun, or a family member, or what have you. This is the first time this year I'm finding about it, because this story was front page news. This fact only goes to show that America has become so numb to the fact that gun violence takes so many of our lives, and not just our lives, but our children's lives, that we're so numb to that fact that it's not front page news unless it's something absolutely horrific. And this story, I only found out about this story because of the mass shooting that happened 2 days before both of these killings, McKayla's killing and the young boy's killing. So America is so numb to gun violence because it's seen as such it's embedded in our culture. I mean, you see a 12-year-old boy walking down the street with a bottle of alcohol and it's the end of the world. Oh my goodness, where's his parents? Why is he such a bad person? Why are these parents so bad? But a 12, 11-year-old going target shooting, like they're getting trained to be in the army or something at 11 and 12 years old. I don't understand. That blows my mind. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. If you're not old enough to drink, you're not old enough to make your own choices, but you're giving a kid a gun to go target practice, not paintball, but an actual gun. And then I also found out that it's federal law prohibits handgun ownership by any person under the age of 18 with a handful of exceptions, but there is no minimum age for long guns, which are rifles and shotguns. 20 states and the District of Columbia have set their own minimum age laws, ranging from 14 in Montana to 21 in Illinois. But the remaining 30 states, the majority of our country, the remaining 30 states, is technically legal. It is technically legal for a child to possess a long gun. And again, that means a rifle or shotgun. So it is legal for the 11-year-old boy who killed McKayla with the shot, for him to have and own that shotgun. I don't know if it's specifically in Tennessee, if that is allowed. I don't know if they're part of the 20 that has their own minimum age or not. But in 30 states in America, it is legal for a child to own a rifle or a shotgun. No wonder we are so numb to these 559 injuries or deaths that happened so far in America this year by guns. So tell me what your thoughts are about this. It's the worst thing I've read in weeks and months. It's just gross. It's disgusting. It hurts, and I don't understand why we can't, as a country, come together and just decide at least to make some common sense laws that at least save our children who are killing each other or hurting themselves with these guns that they can legally own as children. Tell me what you guys think. Please, like usual, subscribe, comment, and catch you later.